Hey, have you heard? ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Whether you're on the move or just kicking back. Miss something on the news? It's there. Want to keep up with a live update? It's there. Or just want to listen to your favorite station? It's there too. Download the app now from the App Store and Google Play Store.
Now you can watch the ZNS network of channels absolutely free. That's right, ZNS is now broadcasting 3 separate channels, free to air on Channel 13. One channel has the regular ZNS TV HD programming. One is the Parliamentary channel, and one is the 24/7 television community page. These channels may be accessed simply by attaching either a rabbit ears antenna or an indoor amplified antenna to the RF input connector on the back of your digital television or flat screen TV. Once the antenna is connected, select TV mode and choose Auto Scan, and your TV will automatically pick up Channel 13 at no charge. Once you're on Channel 13, just use the channel selector to go to each of the 3 ZNS free channels. Antennas are available on many sites online. Free TV, ZNS brings it back to you. You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
After joining the FNM, I realized that I had one ally in the FNM, and that ally was Hubert Ingram. The problem is, if the country don't know where it's going, that's because the leader don't know where he's going. And the sad thing is, when the blind lead the blind, everybody's falling into the ditch. But the problem with democracy is, you don't choose the smartest or the greatest, you choose the most popular.
Welcome, madam, to the Royal Blue Tavern. My name is Leslie, and I will be taking exceptional care of you. Service has been a part of my life for a very long time. I get a sense of satisfaction knowing that my guests came, experienced Bahamian cuisine, fine service, just the sheer joy that they get from my service is enough satisfaction for me.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, first at 6, the Prime Minister says the Bahamas is recovering from recession. Ahead tonight, more in his address to the Summit of the Americas. The acting Prime Minister urges more hunger for food security in the country, and an airport drug trafficking suspect appears in court.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC every day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishla Adderley, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis says the Bahamas is recovering from recession and that international indicators also present a positive forecast. He was addressing the CEO Summit of the Americas in Lima, Peru this morning when he told delegates that the Bahamian economy seems poised for growth.
The Bahamas is emerging from the Great Recession of 2008. we are encouraged that our 2018 GDP growth is estimated at 2.5%. Given planned strategic public sector investments, there are accelerated projections for 2019. The Bahamas has always been a paradise for tourists. We are also a paradise for investors and businessmen. We invite you to explore the Bahamas advantage. We also possess some of the best infrastructure in the Caribbean region. This includes world-class airport, maritime and shipping hubs. We are able to host mega cruise ships in the capital of Nassau. We also have state-of-the-art port and transshipment facilities to accommodate new Panamax cargo vessels in the free trade zone of Freeport in Grand Bahama.
The Prime Minister added that countermeasures to corruption, a Commercial Enterprise Act to encourage strategic investment, and going after business like maritime trade, aviation registration, and wealth management, the Bahamas is encouraging entrepreneurship. Meantime, he says it's a destination for tourists and investors alike.
The 2018 IDB macroeconomic outlook for Latin America and the Caribbean now predicts positive growth prospects for the Caribbean region. This positive trend is by no means assured. There is still much work to do to strengthen financial institutions in proportion to our economies, to manage indebtedness, which crowds out critical public sector investments, to enhance investments in human capital, and to bolster transparency, openness, and investor protection.
Since being appointed Bahamas High Commissioner to London last year October, His Excellency Ellison Greenslade's first order of business was preparing for the Bahamas' participation in the 2018 Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis and his delegation are scheduled in London Monday afternoon. High Commissioner Greenslade told our news team that all logistics for the high-level meeting have been completed.
Deputy High Commissioner Alison Booker here, leading a small team of diplomats, a very small team of just 3 in total, that I met working. And so once I came on board, basically familiarized myself with those plans, that led us then into meetings in February, known as SOM and COW, senior officers meeting, senior officials, and committee of the whole. And those are meetings that are very, very complicated, very intricate, involving heads of all 53 states, that is representatives at the high end of all 53 states, to actually hash out details around the various programs, communiques, and declarations.
High Commissioner Greenslade also noted the high level of respect the Bahamas receives as a member of the Commonwealth.
Bahamas enjoys the respect of Her Majesty's government and all of the associated agencies. We stand on our credibility, and we have been well informed. I'm satisfied from where I sit as High Commissioner that we will receive our Prime Minister and his delegation upon arrival in the next few days, and I can give him a very positive report.
The Bahamas Power and Light Company to receive a new generation and liquefied gas plant. The new facility will be constructed at Clifton Pier by Shell North America LNG and its affiliates. The company won the bid over 19 others. The project is expected to be completed by 2021 and will impact the cost of power supply to consumers. Minister of Public Works, the Honorable Desmond Bannister, commented on the proposal.
They're going to do 2 things. One, they are going to be involved in building a new facility at Clifton, which will be of tremendous assistance to the Bahamian people. In the process, they are going to offer rates for the production of electricity, which will be the lowest that we've ever had in the Bahamas. So Bahamians will be able to see the cost of their bills, electrical bills, go down quite a bit on a monthly basis. And secondly, Shell is looking at moving their regional headquarters to the Bahamas. which again is going to create jobs and opportunities for Bahamians. So the government is very, very excited about the opportunity, and we're looking forward to working with Shell.
Sancon Contractors Limited assessed the submitted bids. The Minister of Works notes the agreement went through a number of checks and balances.
When Cabinet approved it, we wanted to be sure that we did what was right for the Bahamian people. So not only did the EPL do their checks, they brought in an independent group to ensure that everything was done properly. And then even after Cabinet looked at it, we sent it to a respected accounting firm who brought in their international consultants to look at it, because we wanted to do what was best for the Bahamian people, and we wanted to assure that everything was above board.
In other news tonight, signs of recovery among marine resources and farms from islands hit hard by a series of hurricanes were evident at the Bahamas Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources Agri-Business Expo. The three-day event kicked off today at the Gladstone Road Agricultural Complex under the theme Together We Grow. Officials say events like these are crucial to helping the nation move closer to its long-held goal of food sufficiency. Tashina Robinson-Blair reports.
Scores of farmers, entrepreneurs, artisans, and other small business persons engaged in showcasing their products at the 2018 Expo give new meaning to the catchphrase, Made in the Bahamas. It's all a part of a national push to become self-sufficient in the areas of farming, livestock production, food processing, and manufacturing. Acting Prime Minister, the Honorable Peter Turnquest.
There is no reason why we cannot follow the world's trend, where agriculture is the single largest employer. I'm convinced that true development of the sector must involve real subsidy and creating an environment of empowerment of our people.
According to Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources, the Honorable Renwood Wells, innovation is a must.
We will not only grow products that can feed our nation, but also grow ideas that will help this country in countless ways as we push towards our 50th year as a sovereign nation.
President of the Bahamas and Marine Science Institute, Tennyson Wells, says BAMSI is moving swiftly to utilize new farming methods.
This week, BAMSI completed the installation of the equipment to develop the hydroponics and aquaponics facilities. BAMSI expect to double these facilities within the next 3 to 6 months.
Various live demonstrations and activities planned over the weekend are geared towards the government's push to better feed its people. The end goal is to grow, buy, and consume Bahamian products. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Tashina Robinson-Blair.
Well, still ahead tonight, a Defense Force officer facing a magistrate today will tell you why.
BTC is giving the gift of rollover data, plus free unlimited WhatsApp calls, texts, pictures, and videos. Choose from our 1-day plan for $349, 7-day plan for $999, or our 15-day plan for only $29.99. We've even thrown in unlimited BTC to BTC calls and texts. Dial *203# to activate your plan today. Share every moment with BTC. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This is Commonwealth Bank. And no matter how, no matter where, no matter what, Commonwealth Bank is here for you. Commonwealth Bank, everything we do it for you.
With KFC's Family Deal, everything is under control.
Dad genius.
Enjoy our family deal with 8 pieces of freshly prepared chicken, large family fries, and 4 biscuits. all for just $20 including VAT. KFC Nassau, it's finger-licking good.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
21-year-old Defense Force officer Baricio Ferguson of Robinson Road pleaded guilty to stealing when he appeared in court today. Police say he stole $2,400 from Ecuadorian Jamie Mindiola, a detainee. In court today, he was charged with stealing and receiving and has to serve 500 hours of community service divided between the Persis Rogers Home for the Aged and Great Commission Ministries. The deadline to serve the 500 hours is July 27th. Now, if Johnson fails to complete the time, he'll have to serve 6 months behind bars. Guyanese national Nakuma Langhorne appeared in the South Street Magistrates Court today to face drug trafficking charges. He appeared before Magistrate Sabasola Swain, accused of possession of dangerous drugs with the intent to supply, importation of dangerous drugs, conspiracy to possess dangerous drugs with the intent to supply, and conspiracy to import dangerous drugs. The 29-year-old resident of Suriname pleaded guilty to all charges. Langhorne told police that he was approached by a Bahamian female while in Suriname and asked to swallow the capsules and bring them into the Bahamas, where he'd be compensated with $4,000. He was arrested at the Lyndon Pindley International Airport and taken to the Princess Margaret Hospital, where he was x-rayed and the drugs were found in his system. He was sentenced to 4 years on each count. The sentences will run concurrently. Well, students learning more about the dangers associated with domestic violence and the importance of resolving conflicts peacefully. They attended a special seminar at St. Barnabas Anglican Church. Among the schools represented the Government High, C.H. Reeves, T.A. Thompson, R.M. Bailey High Schools, and Ridgeland Primary School. Organizer, Police Constable Brianna Mackey, says the outreach was important.
In 2014, studies conducted by the University of the Bahamas and the Crisis Center with secondary high school students in the Bahamas felt that it was acceptable for their girlfriend or boyfriend to be controlling, and both boys and girls were equally likely to think that it was satisfactory for their partners to be jealous. The study further revealed that both boys and girls subjected each other and were subjected to controlling behaviors and violence in their relationships.
We really promote healthy relationships because that's the way, if children understand how to have a healthy relationship first with themselves, and then they can understand how to have healthy relationships with everybody else, then we will really have a way to deal with violence in relationships where we understand how to work with each other.
Well, the keynote speaker, as you saw there, National Security Minister, the Honorable Marvin Dame, said there needs to be a collaborative effort in order to combat domestic violence and conflict resolution. In other news tonight, a growing number of employers expected to seek out workers as the Department of Labor mounts a job fair here in the capital tomorrow at the Doris Johnson High School. One of the challenges facing the sector is the apparent shortage of skilled workers.
There is an urgent need for qualified teachers, for qualified pharmacists, for engineers, for nurses, for air conditioning technicians, for skilled carpenters. Employers are looking for these qualified people. We have additional specialists like welders. I talk about, if you're a welder in this country qualified, you can get a job. If you're an engineer, you qualified, you can get a job. If you're a teacher, you can get a job. Pharmacists, nurses, those jobs are actively available. We had somebody at a large job fair come down and said he was looking for 4 skilled carpenters that day. He's willing to pay $150 a day for a skilled carpenter, but we just don't have qualified payments to fill these positions.
Well, stay with us. Sports is up next.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
Coca-Cola Bahamas has always been a strong community partner for us. They've supported and helped us to
reach hundreds of young men through Sprite basketball, create a fun and interactive United FC,
go a little bit further for our animal friends, feed thousands of Bahamians every year.
Preserve our natural habitat.
And celebrate Bahamian culture and Junkanoo on Paisley.
The Caribbean Bottling Team is committed to the communities that we serve around the entire Bahamas.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
Financial dreams only become a reality when we make the commitment to ourselves and our financial future. Let Leno help you bridge your dream into a reality. Leno Corporate Services offer individual retirement plans, pension administration, investment management, brokerage and trading, accounting, payroll, and corporate services.
Leno, bridging possibilities. Contact us at 396-3225.
Look at all the food!
The Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources presents the 2018 Agribusiness Expo, April 13th through the 15th at the Gladstone Road Agricultural Complex. Come and enjoy fresh fruit, vegetables, livestock exhibits, arts and crafts, fun for the kids, and deals galore.
You think you can get it any better than that?
Expo 2018, April 13th through the 15th on Gladstone Road. See you there.
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
They're the future stars of track and field, each one a potential world champion. And they're representing you, your hope, your pride, your honor, repping your country. See and support the best of the Caribbean's junior athletes. Catch all the thrills of the Flow Carifta Games anywhere, anytime, any device. Live and exclusively on Flow Sports.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The Government Secondary School Soccer Championships kicking off yesterday at the Roscoe Davies pitch. Up first in junior girls play, the CH Reeves Raptors took home the title, being the Anatole Rogers Timberwolves 1-0. As for the junior boys, Anatole getting a bit of redemption. They also won the championship 1-0 over the SC McPherson Sharks. The Commonwealth Games winding down the Gold Coast of Australia. Earlier today, our men's 4x4 team of O.J. Ferguson, Alonzo Russell, Michael Matthew, and Ramon Miller finished fourth in their heat in 3:04.62. However, Australia, who finished in front of them, was disqualified, moving Team Bahamas up to third. Regardless of the finish, though, the time would have gotten them into the final tomorrow, where they once again run out of lane number 8. The Providence Basketball Association's Best of 7 Championships will be back on the court tonight at the AF Adderley Gym. Up first at 7 Division 2, the defending champion Breezes High Flyers will go after the sweep against the Alive Buckets.
This is over. This is it. So we gotta come back with that same intensity. We coming in the face half and keep it up. Just gotta be offensively, keep talking, keep swinging the ball, and we should be all right.
As for Division 1, the Rockets will look to even up their series with the Commonwealth Bank Giants after handing the Giants their first loss of the season in Game 3.
They're ready to play, and we're going to handle business. We got to come out here with a lot of intensity and, play more structured, especially defensively. Once we can do that, I think we got a good chance of winning.
Danielle Thompson has been named the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference Women's Tennis Player of the Week. It's the second league honor this season for Thompson, as she also received the award on January 24th. Thompson helped Morgan State to a sweep over Coppin State on Wednesday. Prior to that, she went 8-2 in her last 10 singles matches, posting a combined 3-1 week, going 2-0 in singles play, picking up wins against both Bucknell and Howard, while also collecting a doubles win against Bucknell. Playing in the number 1 position in both singles and doubles, Thompson expected back in action again tomorrow against Hofstra. After a long, hard week at work, players from the various teams in the Bankers Softball League can't wait to head to the Blue Hill Sporting Complex, and this year's season is expected to be a very competitive one.
Our current champs is BAF Financial, but you have some teams like CIBC First Caribbean as well as some team Royal Bank. They've done some heavy recruiting and want to be beefing up. Fidelity's want to make a run back at it in terms of returning as the champions. So it's going to be a very, very, very interesting season.
Do you have to be involved in the banking system or insurance system to be a part of the league?
Well, for our league, yes, you have to be within the banking sector or the insurance sector. For the Sam Haven tournament, of course, we open it up to everybody.
And that'll do it for sports. Stay tuned, checking weather still to come.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Everybody, I on TV. Look, I on TV. Mom, guess what it is? That's me. Bartender, do you see me? I on television. I gotta tell my girlfriend I on television.
Hello?
Babe, turn your television to ZNS.
Quick, I'm on television. I don't have a TV in here. We have Wi-Fi though. We have Wi-Fi.
That's fine. They upgrade. Now you can watch it live from your phone.
You just have to download the app. All right, hold on. Go to the App Store, type in ZNS, download the app, and you'll be able to watch ZNS straight from your phone. Hurry up before it's over there.
Get your news and more anytime, anywhere with the new ZNS app. Stay connected from around the globe with our live stream news updates, all in the palm of your hand. You can also listen to the ZNS Radio Network for your favorite music. Go into your Apple or Google Play Store and download the ZNS app today.
Miss I's a star now. I still gotta pay?
We are their mentor. And when we live long enough to see them succeed, then we know that we have done a great thing. Because that's what we're here for.
Once we get to the kids and we can get Jesus in their heart, then if only we affect one child, that child goes to school in the neighborhood where they might have at least 30 children in the class, and time they spread that good joy, that would be tremendous.
Now you can watch the ZNS network of channels absolutely free. That's right, ZNS is now broadcasting 3 separate channels, free to air on Channel 13. One channel has the regular ZNS TV HD programming. One is the Parliamentary channel, and one is the 24/7 television community page. These channels may be accessed simply by attaching either a rabbit ears antenna or an indoor amplified antenna to the RF input connector on the back of your digital television or flat screen TV. Once the antenna is connected, select TV mode and choose Auto Scan, and your TV will automatically pick up Channel 13 at no charge. Once you're on Channel 13, just use the channel selector to go to each of the 3 ZNS free channels. Antennas are available on many sites online. Free TV, ZNS brings it back to you.
What an amazing idea to go into the communities and into our world and into our country and into the homes of people and into the lives of outstanding and extraordinary people all over the country. I think that telling those stories, again, helps us to connect to the notion of okay, how can I live a better life? How can I be better? This is how this person achieved it. Where can I find common ground so that my life can match up as well? And so Ordinary People is an amazing, amazing concept, and I'm excited to be a part of the Ordinary People family.
What I love most about working for the Bahamas Tonight is that we don't only focus on New Providence, we cover the entire Bahamas. We have a team here in the Northern Bahamas that is ready to bring you the stories, the people, and the news that matter to you. From point A to Z, from covering hurricanes to elections and everything in between.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at weather today, it felt more like summer with temperatures running roughly about 5 degrees above normal for this time of the year, but that will all change early next week. Why it will happen? Stay tuned. We'll tell you all about it later in the newscast. But outside of our studios, we're under partly sunny skies, temperature 84 degrees, your relative humidity at 51%. The winds are out of the east-southeast at 7 knots, your barometric pressure 1,018.4 millibars. That is 30.07 inches, and it is steady. That's going to do it for your first look at Weather at 6. Stay tuned, more weather is still to come.
Well, that does it for us. And First at 6, stay tuned though. The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition is straight ahead.
Delegations viewing infrastructural projects in the West. Union leaders protesting a recent ruling. And a Bahamian pilot landing to a hero's welcome.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping the news tonight, the Minister of Works and his delegation moving to West Grand Bahama to carry out an inspection of government projects. The fact-finding mission began at the Fishing Hole Road and ended in West End. Italia Hall has the latest.
The Minister of Works, the Honorable Desmond Bannister, and his team first stop was in West Grand Bahama at the Fishing Hole Road Bridge. The project began in 2016 and is being constructed by All Bahamas Construction Company. Now, according to the team, the bridge should be completed by the end of June.
To date, about $7.5 million has been pumped into this project already, but we're expecting some more additional works to be carried out.
One of the concerns that I have right now, and I'm discussing it with the team, is the culvert, the flow through from the north side to the south side.
I think there has to be culverts under this road. We cannot continue in the Bahamas to allow exploitation of our natural environment. And so I'm not concerned about who the authorities are with respect to that. There has to be a free flow of water.
From there, they visited the government complex in 8 Mile Rock. The complex will include 2 buildings. Building B will be a courthouse and a police station. Project manager Chris Simonet says Building A will comprise of a number of government offices.
The Public Library, a Ministry of Finance, a Post Office, a Ministry of Works, the Labor Department, 2 conference rooms, Urban Renewal, an Island Administrator's Office, Register General, local government.
The Holmes Rock Junior High School was also on the list. Acting Chief Architect Timothy Johnson says there will be 25 classrooms in the 2-story building and 2 contractors are on site.
We are slightly off schedule, but the contractors continue to work. There's some challenges that we do have on site. Of course, you see the site. It's a large site. It's a sloping site, and so they're mitigating some things just to fill in the site so we can have a better approach to the building.
Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Pakeisha Parker Edgecombe, was also a part of the tour.
I believe that it is important for us to be able to evaluate and know what's going on, because in the end we want our residents to be very proud of what is coming to their community. I think that they are in fact going to be very proud once everything is finished.
The final stop during the afternoon session of the tour was in the community of West End. The minister gave an overview of the sites he visited in Grand Bahama. He says he also had an opportunity to visit the 8 Mile Rock Gym, and there are some challenges.
The air conditioning systems relating to the water systems, and we're going to actively look at them. But anything we do, we're going to have to create a secure environment there so that we don't get the level of vandalism and the challenges that we've had in that gym.
And as for the West End dock and seawall, he says the ministry is in the process of developing a comprehensive plan and will seek funding in the next budget.
Where we are going to build a new dock, we are going to refurbish all the seawalls, and we're going to build some new seawalls. We're going to spend a little over $3 million in doing that, and ensure that this dock, which is supposed to be a port of entry for the country.
Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Natalia Hall.
Unions throughout the country taking a stand against a recent court ruling. Tonight, they are calling on the government and employees to stand with them as they take this case to the Privy Council. Shishina Rowe-Farquharson reports.
Unions throughout the northern Bahamas uniting against a recent decision made by appellate court judge Sir Michael Barnett. Their concerns center on the Court of Appeal's recent dismissal of the Bahamas Industrial Manufacturing and Allied Workers Union's case against Morton Salt in particular, and the fact that the judge's ruling states that an industrial agreement is an employment contract. VP for the Trade Union Congress in the northern Bahamas, Kirkland Russell.
For the Court of Appeal to suggest that these agreements are nothing more than contracts of employment. We believe that the Court of Appeal had erred in that verdict. We are encouraging the government to take immediate action and cause there to be an amendment, at least to preserve at this time the integrity of those industrial agreements until such time as the union and labor is able to get to the Privy Council to remedy these matters.
Area Vice President of the Customs, Immigration and Allied Workers Union, Darren Brooks, says this ruling could have far-reaching effects on employees.
It's immeasurable. The possibility of your employer altering the terms and conditions of your employment outside of an industrial agreement that you would have already negotiated is something that could have some adverse effects throughout the length and breadth of the Bahamas, irrespective of changing the landscape of the trade and labor movement. You would have Bahamians vastly being affected by a decision their employer could make, and with limited recourse by the employee.
Area Vice President of the Bahamas Union of Teachers, Quentin LaRota, says the next step is the Privy Council.
We're hoping that whatever is necessary to get the ruling overturned, and at least we return to the status quo ante in concert with the Industrial Relations Act. That is what we are hoping and we're pushing to take place.
Shishina Rowe-Farquharson, ZNS Network News.
In other news, this is the brush fire season, and officials say so far, frequent fires have been keeping them on their toes. Tonight, there is a call for residents to assist by taking some simple preventative measures. Italia Hall reports.
We are currently in the peak of the brush fire season that runs through May. Inspector Eli Ariska of the Fire Department says the department has received a high volume of calls for the first 3 months of the year.
Now, the inspector says for the year there have been over 150 brush fire calls, and he admits that residents are contributing to these fires. He's also reminding residents that this is an offense.
Persons may be lighting trash in their backyards. Persons may be cleaning out some trash, and they just discard it and the likes. And we find that because of that, we've been having a serious amount of brush fires, because once those small fires get away and into the forest areas, we now have to battle these large brush fires, and it puts a strain on the fire department, because especially when we have areas that are heavily concentrated with different homes and different structures.
He says persons must refrain from lighting items indiscriminately.
And so your yard, be it trash bins, throwing cigarette butts out, again, because you may think it's something of insignificance when you just light a trash to clean out your yard or discard old materials. But it is a nuisance because the times that we're spending now attending to a lot of brush fires, which could have been avoided, in the event we have an emergency incident. When I say emergency, may it be involved where the truck of the responder, traffic accident where somebody needs the jaws of life.
And for all homeowners, he says there are a number of things firefighters take into consideration when fighting brush fires.
The fire might be so large that you can't see the fire truck on the next side. It isn't that we're not checking for your property, it's that the immediate danger at the time is maybe at a different location, and they're dealing with that, and then they will come to your location, because a lot of times when we deal with brush fires, a brush fire has different parts. We have the head of the fire, we have the fingers and the tail. So all of these things our firefighters take into play when we attack any brush fire. So we try to deal with the immediate exposures, and then we come back and try to extinguish the ones that are around the property that's not so much in danger at the immediate time.
Inspector Ariska is encouraging the entire Grand Bahama community to partner with the fire department and to call them the minute you see a fire. Now the telephone numbers here are 352-8888, or you can call 911 or 919. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Natalia Hall.
Thanks to Talia. Tonight, as we conclude our Youth and Crime series, we hear from a well-known youth mentor. He continues to call for accountability on the part of parents and adults. He believes if proper examples are set, the youth will have good role models to follow. Kimberly Mullings reports.
One of the problems we have here in the Bahamas, I've been here 50 years, so I think I'm kind of an authority on young people, one of the authorities, is that we're all reactive rather than proactive.
Former educator and YMCA Executive Director Terry Goldsmith has been involved with young people for over 60 years, since he was 18 to be exact. He says older people need to be held accountable for the roles they play and ought to be playing in the lives of the nation's youth. It's as simple as asking the younger ones about the problems they are having or challenges they may be facing.
We can find out those problems, how they live, what they're exposed to. If we had a survey, a national survey, finding out all this information from them, right, then we can make a diagnosis, then we can find the medicine to solve that problem, okay? The other one is the attitude of many of the people here. Okay, all they do is they sit, watch the television or listen to the radio and blame all the young people or blame the churches, blame this one, blame that.
He provided an illustration of how he thinks the Bahamian society operates.
It's like a donkey, right, in a field, and 10 people have got ropes around it trying to stop it from kicking and put it in the pen. But they're all pulling in different directions. When are all of these, the government, the churches, the parents, coming together and create a plan? If you don't plan for your future, you don't have one. You have the chaos with our young people that we have today. Look, you got a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old murdered someone. Come on, we've got to do something.
Goldsmith shared a few solutions to cure some of the social ills, which he said Bahamian adults have become accustomed to.
What we need to be doing is going out there with the people. I'm from the ghetto. I know rich white boy. I was in juvenile court 3 times before I was 10 for fighting, but a police officer cut my behind. Right? And he set me on the road to success. And I promised him when I was 18 that I would help someone in my adult life. And I've kept that for 61 years. Right? So I'm challenging the people of Grand Bahama and in Nassau, wherever, to get out of the cart, get out of your settees, your little place of comfort with your little 4 walls around you, and get out and do something. Get on the case of the politicians, the preachers, the teachers, and you do something as well.
Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition continues in just a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
It's time to go green again!
With tropical palms from Dolly Madison, Grand Bahama. You asked for it, and Dolly Madison's got it. Flowering trees, tropical palm trees, landscaping trees, indoor and outdoor plants, fruit trees, vegetable plants, and seeds galore.
It's time to go green again!
Yes! It's time to restore your yard and outdoor sanctuary. Make your home and garden green again. But hurry while supplies last. Come on down now!
We've raised the stakes. We've raised the bar. We've raised the standard. Your new entertainment playground. Winners take chances. Chances makes winners. Chances remind you to game responsibly.
Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Grand Bahama community celebrating the achievements of a Bahamian pilot. It was certainly a proud moment this past weekend for the Knowles family and the wider community as a special charter flight out of Canada touched down with a Bahamian at the helm. Italia Hall fills us in.
The Canadian airline Sunwing has been a major player in the island's tourism mix. For years, it has provided airlift for the Memories Resort, and now that property is closed. Sunwing is now offering air service for the Wyndham Club Fortuna Resort. When the nonstop flight touched down at the Grand Bahama International Airport on Saturday, a Bahamian was in the cockpit. Captain Robert Knowles received his training in Florida before moving back home in 2003, where he worked for Western Air and Flamingo Air. He soon moved to Canada, where he worked for Porter Airlines, but 4 months ago he signed on with Sunwing. Now the Sunwing flight had a total of 179 passengers, and overall Knowles says he's just happy to be home after 6 years and to be a part of Grand Bahama's tourism product.
Oh, it was great. The flight coming in, it was a great day to fly too. It's been an amazing experience. You know, I'm just happy for the opportunity finally to be able to fly from over there to over here and actually you know, bring visitors and stuff like that to the Bahamas.
Robert's mother, Chief Immigration Officer Greta Knowles, is stationed at the airport. She says her son's achievement is certainly a dream come true.
From he was 2 years old, he was fascinated by the planes. And when we moved to Nassau from Freeport, every time the planes fly over, he would run out on the veranda, because at the time we were living in Coral Harbor. And so I am just so grateful that he can, you know, do so much for the Bahamas. To see him come back this morning, it's overwhelming.
His father, Robert Knowles Sr., and the entire family became emotional.
Very, very proud. Very proud.
And as for Captain Robert Knowles Jr., well, he calls it an overwhelming experience.
Brought a lot of emotions to me. It's been a while since I've seen them, and I appreciate them being able to come out here and actually be able to show me so much support. They've done it throughout my entire career, and they continue to do it now.
Italia Hall, ZNS Network News.
And now it is time to Ask the Doctor.
Hi and welcome. Reader from Freeport sent these questions. Why do I need lab tests? And is there anything I need to know or do differently before I get them? Your questions are very important, and thanks for asking them. Lab tests provide valuable information to help your doctor determine your overall health, diagnose disease, and decide your treatment. Your body has many types of cells and fluids, and nearly all of them can be tested, although the most commonly ones tested are blood and urine. Specimens such as the fluid that's around your spine, joint fluid, sputum, which is similar to mucus that you produce when you cough, stool, bone marrow, and tissues can all be tested. Depending on the test ordered, there are specific things that you may need to do. You may need to be told to not eat for 8 to 12 hours before coming to the lab, or to only eat certain foods. You may also be instructed to drink more or less than what you would normally drink 8 to 12 hours before the test, or you may be asked to not smoke before a test. If your doctor tells you the laboratory tests are ordered, ask for special instructions or speak with a member of the laboratory team. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Don't go away, Ricardo Lightbourne is up next with a check on sports.
This portion of the news is brought to you by InStyle Boutique. Be fashionable, be trendy, be in style.
And
Buddy, I on TV. Look, I on TV. Mom, guess what it is? That's me. Bartender, do you see me? I on television. I gotta tell my girlfriend I on television.
Hello?
Babe, turn your television to ZNS.
Quick, I'm on television. I don't have a TV in here.
We have Wi-Fi though.
We have Wi-Fi.
That's fine. They upgrade. Now you can watch it live from your phone.
You just have to download the app. All right, hold on.
Go to the App Store, type in ZNS, download the app, and you'll be able to watch ZNS straight from your phone. Hurry up before it's over again.
Get your news and more anytime, anywhere with the new ZNS app. Stay connected from around the globe with our live stream news updates, all in the palm of your hand. You can also listen to the ZNS Radio Network for your favorite music. Go into your Apple or Google Play Store and download the ZNS app today.
Miss I's a star now. I still gotta pay.
KMW Battery and Tire Sales is offering oil change special for just $49.99 plus VAT. Includes oil and filter. KMW is located on West Settlers Way.
Everybody at Sports Americana Live 1, this one tonight goes out to Chanel Henfield and also Sherman and Peachy. They promised they will treat you tonight. I ain't getting in that. Okay, Grandma Little League with the team from the Eastern European bloc here on Grand Bahama. Russia, to be exact. Well, let me tell you, they were at the Sluggers and having a great time. Here's Megan Shepard with that story.
Managing partner of the Caribbean Baseball Organization, Mario Signorello, says that the organization looks to develop international partnerships as a way to foster economic growth to the island and build lasting relationships. He adds that this visit by the Russian Little League baseball team has been months in the making.
We've been expanding in years, the friendliness, the Bahamas, and the people coming here. And then last year, November, we had 11 countries playing West Palm Beach, and the Russian team and the Bahamian team were in the same division. And the coaches met, and they said, next time you come over, why don't you come to the Bahamas? And Coach Pasha called me up and says, here's going to be here, and we want to go Bahamas. So all it took was one phone call here, and everybody couldn't be better hosts. And it was kind of, when we walked in here, everybody knew they were coming. Some of the kids started chanting, "Let's go Russia!" So it's truly been a fun part of it.
Manager of the Russia Baseball Club says that some 8 young men made the trip to Grand Bahama. During the 4-day visit, he says they plan to take in some sun, sand, and sea while participating in 2 games and a day of practice.
This is 2 my favorite things: play baseball and see geographic. I very like geography. I very like different country, different people, and I very want to see all, but play baseball together. This is very good.
The game was simply all in good fun, and the coach says the boys were having a great time.
To play very good. Today we play in not so hot. This is in Moscow right now, even only beginning spring, and snow sometimes. But we have good time for here, for good friends, good boys, good field, and we take participant in Bahama Sports Festival. We're very happy.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Total Sports.
And they are playing baseball right now. They got a couple games going on. They've got a full day tomorrow. Now the Grand Bahama Volleyball Association on court Thursday. It was co-ed night at the Y. The Mr. Baker boys and the BUT Bulldogs on court in a co-ed clash. The Bakers boys playing aggressive ball and BUT trying to stay in the match. Watch this serve by the Bakers boy. It's coming, get out the way, get out the way. Let's see that monster serve game. This time, it's out. BUT serving and match beginning to heat up somewhat. The kill will settle the point. Here's a good set. Volleyball is aggressive play, and this one had it in it. Well, this is co-ed volleyball, and things you see at some point will amaze you. But BUT had all kind of issues. First of all, bro, you got to jump if you're trying to spike. BUT did get some breaks in the match and the points to show for it. The Bakers boys able to take the first set 21-14, and it's a swing in the game. Well, you thought we had a swing in the game, while the Bakers boys also took the second set 21-15. Zorba's Youth in action over the BMES Warriors 21-18, 15-21, and 15-13 your score. Co-ed volleyball at the Y is an experience like no other. Well, the Estugal tournament was a huge success, and just to clear the air, I'm going to let you know that we have some winners tonight. The close to the pin was Hanford Bain. Andrew Moxie got the trophy to prove as well. Gizmo Moss, well, he's a sandbagger. He took mine away. Kenny Bazin earned the close to the pin award. Yes, almost a hole-in-one. Stay calm, Ken. Stay calm. The two-ball competition, Anthony Cooper and Hanford Bain won the gross title with the 6/78. In the net division, Dylan Knowles and Ricardo Light won third with a net 64. As far as Lou Parker and Sherrick Smith, they had a net 63 in second place. And your champ, that's Dominic. He's a sandbagger. Yes, Mr. Wilson and Graham Groves with a net 57. In the foursomes, it was John Briggs, Martin Bent, Ian Walls, and Jesse Sumner. They're your champions. And Team Alive with a second place finish, Andy Wallace, Craig O'Brien, Richard Stanton, and Mike Cutson. Congrats, everybody. Well, the 2018 Grand Bahama Tennis Association annual general meeting and elections were held, and yep, they're ready for the run of 2018-2019. Let Kim Mullings give you more.
The Grand Bahama Tennis Association is mandated to have its annual general meeting on or before March 31st each year. This year it was held on March 14th at Geneva's restaurant. 2017-2018 President Natishka Barrett says in the new year the association is looking to continue developing tennis on the island through its programs.
We are pushing forward with the school tennis initiative. Also, every year we have 2 annual tournaments, so we will continue to have those in Grand Bahama. We also will have some recreational events or some open tennis events for our advanced juniors as well as for the recreational players. We will continue to have the warm-up tournaments before we have the national tournaments as well.
This year, the GBTA will be advocating for a national tennis federation, and it is their hope that all tennis associations across the Bahamas will have a say.
We believe that if a proper Bahamas Tennis Federation is formed, then it's going to be very instrumental in developing tennis throughout the entire Bahamas. We feel as if that's going to be important because you're going to need the input from the various associations that are functioning around the islands in order to push tennis ahead properly in a national way.
The GBTA was revitalized in 2017 after being dormant for many years. Barrett says they have certainly accomplished a lot, and they are proud.
We have made tremendous strides in Grand Bahama in tennis, and I'm particularly pleased that we are having what it appears to be a very positive impact in our community as well. So I'm very grateful that collectively we have made great strides.
The officers for the 2018-2019 year, Natishka Barrett is returning as president. Her vice president will be Danny Rigby, secretary Danielle Rigby, treasurer David Morley, assistant treasurer Tracy Mills, and the council members will be Ronald Johnson, MacArthur Rigby, and Carlton Hall. Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Soul Sports.
And a real busy weekend for sports. Don't forget, Special Olympics have their team trials tomorrow. They're going to be at Beacon School, 9 o'clock in the morning. Go support our kids as they get ready for the world. Don't forget, Freeport Rugby Club will try to win that Bahamas Cup Series. They're in action tomorrow. And Soccer Jamboree, 12 o'clock, YMCA Field. Boy, we busy all weekend long. And don't forget flag football on Sunday. Megan wants to be a quarterback. Got sports up, Rick, and I'm rolling.
More Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979.
Hi, sweetie. Could you give me...
A high five?
No, honey. I was asking
The
if you
remote
could give
control?
me... No, I want...
A kiss. You're so pretty.
Get the KFC Big Box! 2 pieces of chicken, fries, coleslaw, corn, and our new cinnamon biscuit bites, and a 20-ounce drink. Only at KFC Freeport. KFC, always original and finger-licking good. Get the KFC Big Box!
A retirement banquet celebration in honor of Pastor Lindy and Mother Nell Russell will be held Saturday, April 21st at a Social Affair Convention Center.
ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Watch our live channel to keep up with what's going on in the nation. News updates, we've got you covered. Tune into our radio stations with just a swipe. On the road, on the go, we're here with you. Available for download on the App Store and the Google Play Store.
Who gave you a trophy?
What you mean?
I demand a recount.
I showed you the sling last week.
Who gave
don't
you
worry
a
about that.
trophy?
Now, why aren't you playing flag football?
My guns aren't ready yet.
Okay. I believe we can respond to that one.
That's good. It was here in the north.
Every kind of like boy.
We're making Sharper Thomas tonight continues. What I love most about working for the Bahamas Tonight is that we don't only focus on New Providence, we cover the entire Bahamas. We have a team here in the northern Bahamas that is ready to bring you the stories, the people, and the news that matter to you. From point A to Z, from covering hurricanes to elections and everything in between.
The Bahamas Tonight is a link that brings the family islands together. I remember growing up on the island, we didn't have access to cable television and had to use antennas to watch Channel 13. Thousands of Family Island viewers depend on us for up-to-the-hour coverage on issues of national importance. And today, no other covers the Bahamas better than the Bahamas Tonight.
What you see and hear on this television station is governed by IRCA's Code of Practice for Content Regulation. The Code of Practice covers matters relating to program content that are of concern to the community, such as local content, news, current affairs, programs for children, advertising, including political advertisements, and the responsibilities associated with broadcasting in the Bahamas. The Code also covers aspects such as access services for the hearing and visually impaired, and the procedure for lodging a complaint about anything broadcast by this station. The code is available on the IRCA website at www.ircabahamas.bs. To receive a copy of the code by mail or in person, you may telephone IRCA at 242-393-0234. Family Island dialing is toll-free at 1-242-300-8722. Or you may send a request by email to info@ircabahamas.bs.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report. The Prime Minister says the Bahamas is recovering from recession. Ahead tonight, more in his address to the Summit of the Americas. The acting Prime Minister urges more hunger for food security. And an airport drug trafficking suspect appears in court. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishla Adderley, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Topping the news tonight, the Prime Minister touting the Bahamas to the Latin American and Caribbean business community as a paradise booming with activity for investment. In his inaugural address to the Summit of the Americas in Lima, Peru this morning, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis pitched a home run to prospective investors that the Bahamas has a myriad of business opportunities to offer. He added that in 2017, the Inter-American Development Bank placed the Bahamas 8th in its Western Hemisphere and 2nd in the region for ICT connectivity, which is a common denominator for successful business.
We are encouraged that our 2018 GDP growth is estimated at 2.5%. Given planned strategic public sector investments, there are accelerated projections for 2019. We also possess some of the best infrastructure in the Caribbean region. This includes world-class airport, maritime and shipping hubs. We are able to host mega cruise ships in the capital of Nassau. We also have state-of-the-art port and transshipment facilities to accommodate new Panamax cargo vessels in the free trade zone of Freeport in Grand Bahama. The Bahamian people represent an excellent pool of skilled labor, particularly in banking, accounting, and in legal and professional services.
Prime Minister Minnis also declared in Peru that it is the responsibility of government leaders to create an environment for business to flourish in the Bahamas.
The government of the Bahamas is undertaking dramatic reforms. These include enhancing provisions for confiscation of assets derived from corrupt means, enhancing the independence and autonomy of the Office of Public Prosecutions, advancing freedom of information from the government to the public, and taking the first steps to establish an ombudsman office to foster open, fair, and responsiveness in our governance.
Well, following his address to the Summit of the Americas, Prime Minister Minnis attended a luncheon for Caribbean leaders hosted by Prime Minister of Canada, the Right Honourable Justin Trudeau. Prime Minister Trudeau noted that it was his intention to deepen Canada's relationship and friendship with the Bahamas. The leaders discussed a wide range of issues with the Canadian Prime Minister, but Prime Minister Trudeau wanted to expand more on climate change, also wanting to hear from the Caribbean leaders how Canada can enhance its relationship with the region. All logistics for the Bahamas to participate in this year's Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting are now complete. The operation, conducted by the Bahamas High Commission office in London, entailed a strategic partnership with a myriad of agencies. In his first national interview since his appointment last year, Bahamas High Commissioner to London, His Excellency Alison Greenslade, explained the preparation process to our Altavis Munnings.
How are you? Hi, Commissioner. Good to see you.
Pleasure. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
It's
Good to see you, sir. Since arriving to the Bahamas High Commission office on Chesterfield Street in London, High Commissioner His Excellency Alison Greenslade and his three-member team have been very busy preparing for Prime Minister Dr. the Honourable Hubert Minnis's attendance at next week's Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. High Commissioner Greenslade and his team have been working with officials from the Commonwealth Secretariat, the United Kingdom Government, London Metropolitan Police and other organizations to execute their operation.
We have a number of ministers coming from the Bahamas who will also make meaningful contributions with colleagues ministers from across the Commonwealth, dealing with significant issues around governance, human rights, issues around the economy, trade and investments, this whole business of banking and de-risking, correspondence banking, and de-risking. And then you talk about the environmental issues, given all of the challenges we've had with major hurricanes in the region, and not just the region, across the planet. Climate change is a huge issue. It's on the agenda. I'm satisfied from where I sit as High Commissioner that we will receive our Prime Minister and his delegation upon arrival in the next few days, and I can give them a very positive report. Everything has been properly planned. We believe those plans by Her Majesty's government will be executed, certainly in the most distinguished way, and this is going to be a very important and a very exciting time here in London.
The Bahamas is one of 53 Commonwealth countries being represented at next week's high-level meeting. And from where he sits, High Commissioner Greenslade boasts of the tremendous respect the Bahamas currently receives.
Work around really helping our people all across the Commonwealth, and I dare say across the globe. This Commonwealth advantage is, you're going to hear about it over and over again. A significant Commonwealth advantage, a rediscovery of the Commonwealth, and it's something for us to be proud of. There's a feeling that in the presence of Her Majesty, certainly the use of Buckingham Palace, being able to access Buckingham Palace, Windsor Castle, and other signature landmarks here in the City of London, certainly in England, just adds a totally different ambience to everything else.
High Commissioner Greenslade even acknowledged the importance this meeting will have on the Bahamas.
This is a really significant and important investment. That whole business that the Prime Minister and delegation is here gives us as the Bahamas the ability to continue to punch above our weight. Small little country with 400,000 people, just about, but I'm telling you, these are global issues, and we have a significant say.
The staff of the Bahamas High Commission office in London has been preparing for the Bahamas' attendance at the 2018 Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting for over a year now. And High Commissioner Greenslade is very confident that the meeting will be very successful. Reporting from Bahamas House in London, I'm Altaviz Munnings, ZNS Network News.
Shell North America LNG LLC and its affiliates will now move to build a new generation and liquefied gas plant at Clifton Pier. That news announced today from officials at Bahamas Power and Light. This after the company won that bid. 19 companies submitted bids altogether to supply 80 megawatts of temporary power to replace rental units producing that volume at the Blue Hills plant. Public Works Minister, the Honorable Desmond Bannister, says Shell's proposal is attractive.
They're going to do two things. One, they're going to be involved in building a new facility at Clifton, which will be of tremendous assistance to the Bahamian people. In the process, they are going to offer rates for the production of electricity, which will be the lowest that we've ever had in the Bahamas. So the Bahamians will be able to see the cost of their bills, electrical bills, go down quite a bit on a monthly basis. And secondly, Shell is looking at moving their regional headquarters to the Bahamas, which again is going to create jobs and opportunities for Bahamians. So the government is very, very excited about the opportunity, and we're looking forward to working with Shell.
The project is expected to be completed by 2021. Sand Contractors Limited assessed the submitted bids. The Works Minister notes that the agreement went through a number of checks and balances.
When Cabinet approved it, we wanted to be sure that we did what was right for the Bahamian people. So not only did the EPL do their checks, they brought in an independent group to ensure that everything was done properly. And then even after Cabinet looked at it, we sent it to a respected accounting firm who brought in their international consultants to look at it, because we wanted to do what was best for the Bahamian people. And we wanted to assure that everything was above board.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, find out why a drug mule says he was tricked into bringing drugs into the country. The details ahead.
And dozens of vendors showing off local produce at the annual Agribusiness Expo at Gladstone Road. It's a must-see event. The Bahamas Tonight continues after this break.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the new Shell and Letty, designed for extra miles.
Want to pay less? Or want to save more? Do both. Just bundle your bills into one low-rate loan with Commonwealth Bank. With a consolidation loan at Commonwealth Bank, you'll enjoy one easy monthly payment, plus the chance to win $5,000. So move your loans from other banks to Commonwealth Bank and get ready to pay less and save more.
Every day you wake up with the world in the palm of your hand. Making connections and creating memories and sharing them with the people you care about. Every day the world is at your fingertips, and you can experience every blockbuster movie in stunning HD and top 100 Billboard music hit with the touch of a button. Every day, your family and friends are important to you, and staying in touch no matter where you are in the Bahamas or the world is your #1 priority. And that's why, every day for over 100 years, BTC has been there to ensure that every Bahamian has the best connection to the world. We cover every island, rock and key, regardless of the cost. This is BTC Country.
With KFC's Family Deal, everything is under control.
dad genius.
Enjoy our family deal with 8 pieces of freshly prepared chicken, large family fries, and 4 biscuits. All for just $20 including VAT. KFC Nassau. It's finger-licking good.
Now, Vanessa, you look stressed though.
Girl, listen, I here on my little piece of lunch break trying to pay these bills. I gotta go head to BTC, then I gotta go fly to BEC, and then I gotta go swim to Water and Switch.
Girl, look, save your time and your gas, all right? Make one stop.
How? Take your backside to Cash and Go. You pay all 3 of them bills one time. It's one line, one place, with a bunch of locations. You think I should go now?
Vanessa, you ain't reached yet? Cash and Go. Fast, free, convenient. Call 322-CASH for more information.
The man in the boat sculling round Bahamas. The man in the boat and the crowd is sipping sand. The Bohemian beer, good right over here. If you found the Bohemian, raise your signs in the air. The man in the boat sculling round Bahamas. The man in the boat and the crowd is sipping sand. 100% Bohemian owned. Keep them for
Available at Jimmy's Liquor Store or your favorite restaurant or liquor stores throughout the Bahamas.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
An alleged drug trafficker appeared in court today after being released from hospital. Our Jiminita Swain explains.
Guyanese national Nakoma Langhorne appeared in the South Street Magistrates Court Friday to face drug trafficking charges. He appeared before Magistrate Sabusula Swain, accused of possession of dangerous drugs with the intent to supply, importation of dangerous drugs, conspiracy to possess dangerous drugs with the intent to supply, and conspiracy to import dangerous drugs. The 29-year-old resident of Suriname pleaded guilty to all charges. The facts of the case, as read by the prosecutor, explain that the accused entered the country on Tuesday around 2:30 on board a Caribbean Air flight. Langhorne was selected for a secondary search by police. His luggage was searched but turned up nothing. Officials told him that he was suspected of having dangerous drugs and was later arrested. Authorities took him to the Princess Margaret Hospital where he was x-rayed. Subsequently, between April 10th to April 12th, he excreted 90 capsules containing cocaine from his body. Langhorne told police that he was approached by a Bahamian female while in Suriname to swallow the capsules and bring it to the Bahamas, where he would be compensated $4,000. The prosecutor said the drugs weighed 2 pounds, 4 ounces, and had a street value of $16,000. Now, Langhorne had $470 cash on him. When asked by the magistrate Swain why he should not receive a lengthy jail sentence, he told the court, "I was tricked. They told me it was weed. If I knew it was cocaine, I would not have done it." Langhorne told the court that he operated a car wash and was the father of a 9-year-old. He said he was looking to get extra cash as he planned to use it to further his business. As to the Bahamian woman who purchased his ticket to enter the country, he said he had not heard from her further, but he turned the information over to police. Now, Langhorne was sentenced to 4 years on each count. The drugs were ordered destroyed. That $470 he had in pocket was also ordered confiscated by the court. Upon completion of that sentence, Langhorne will be deported from the country. Jiminita Swain, ZNS Network News.
A 21-year-old Defense Force officer, Baricio Ferguson of Robinson Road, pleaded guilty to stealing when he appeared in court today. Police say he stole $2,400 from an Ecuadorian, Jamie Mindiola, a detainee. In court today, he was charged with stealing and receiving and has to serve 500 hours of community service, divided between the Persis Rogers Home for the Aged and Great Commission Ministries. The deadline to serve the 500 hours is July 27th. If Johnson fails to complete the time, he'll have to serve 6 months behind bars. Police say they're continuing to investigate the death of 51-year-old Kimberly Wallace as an apparent suicide. However, an autopsy will be performed to determine the exact cause of death. No one is in police custody in connection with this incident. Well, another round of employers will be seeking out employees as the Department of Labor mounts its 5th job fair here in the capital tomorrow at the Doris Johnson High School on Prince Charles Drive. Director of Labor Robert Farquharson says the focus for the Department of Labor and its On the Blocks fair will be Family Islanders next, but one of the challenges facing the sector is the apparent shortage of skilled workers.
there is an urgent need for qualified teachers, for qualified pharmacists, for engineers, for nurses, for air conditioning technicians, for skilled carpenters. Employers are looking for these qualified people. We have additional specialists like welders. I talk about, if you're a welder in this country qualified, you can get a job. If you're an engineer, you qualified, you can get a job. If you're a teacher, you can get a job. Pharmacists, nurses, those jobs are actively available. We had somebody at a large job fair come down and said he was looking for 4 skilled carpenters that day. He's willing to pay $150 a day for skilled carpenter, but we just don't have qualified Bahamians to fill these positions.
Well, the growing array of products of Bahamian farmers, fishermen, manufacturers, and artisans were all on display at the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources annual Agribusiness Expo. Under the theme, Together We Grow, the 3-day expo at the Gladstone Road Agricultural Complex highlights produce, livestock, handicraft, and finished products from scores of Bahamian business persons. Tashina Robinson-Blair reports on today's opening.
Products from the field, but also from schools, were on full display at the colorful ceremony marking the opening of the 2018 Agribusiness Expo. Energetic performances by the Gerald Cash Primary Rake and Scrape Band and Yellow Elder Primary Choir punctuated the opening ceremony. That wasn't the only involvement by students. Those interested in pursuing careers in agriculture and culinary fields were invited to showcase their skills alongside high-quality Bahamian-grown produce, processed products, and commodities. The annual assembly of farmers, fishermen, manufacturers, artisans, and craftsmen demonstrate tangible steps taken to inch the nation closer to becoming more self-sufficient. Acting Prime Minister, the Honorable Peter Turnquest.
There is no reason why we cannot follow the world's trend where agriculture is the single largest employer. I'm convinced that true development of the sector must involve real subsidy and creating an environment of empowerment of our people.
According to Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources, the Honorable Renwood Wells, innovation is a must.
We will not only grow products that can feed our nation, but also grow ideas that will help this country in countless ways as we push towards our 50th year as a sovereign nation.
President of the Bahamas and Marine Science Institute, Tennyson Wells, says BAMSI is moving swiftly to utilize new farming methods.
This week, BAMSI completed the installation of equipment to develop the hydroponics and aquaponics facilities. BAMSI expect to double these facilities within the next 3 to 6 months.
Through this 3-day expo, essential linkages are made between various sectors: agriculture, education, marine resources, light industries, and tourism. The ultimate goal is to seek to improve the financial viability of farms and food manufacturers, in turn generating employment and economic growth. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Tashina Robinson-Blair.
Domestic violence and escalated conflict have played out in many cases involving youth. Fully aware of this, the Royal Bahamas Police Force South and Central Division is holding a series of seminars for students from a number of high schools, teaching them about the importance of healthy relationships. Speakers at the Kickstarter seminar, Minister of National Security, the Honorable Marvin Dames, and Director of the Bahamas Crisis Center, Donna Nichols, spoke about research previously conducted involving youth on the issue of domestic violence and about what can be done to develop conflict resolution.
In 2014, studies conducted by the University of the Bahamas and the Crisis Center with secondary high school students in the Bahamas felt that it was acceptable for their girlfriend or boyfriend to be controlling, and both boys and girls were equally likely to think that it was satisfactory for their partners to be jealous. The study further revealed that both boys and girls subjected each other and were subjected to controlling behaviors and violence in their relationships.
We really promote
healthy relationships, because that's the way, if children understand how to have a healthy relationship first with themselves, and then they can understand how to have healthy relationships with everybody else, then we will really have a way to deal with violence in relationships, where we understand how to work with each other and so on. Part of it too has to do with really deconstructing some of the negative ideals and the negative narratives that people carry on from what we would call historic structural patriarchal ideas.
Nichols also noted 2 initial steps the community can take to begin the deconstruction of violent and unhealthy relationships.
So first of all, recognize that it does exist and it happens too much. And the second thing, to get information, find out what happens in violent relationships, what's a cycle of violence, what's the underlying causes of all these things. And then some people have to work with men, some work with women, some like this, you work with children. So it's really about all of us plugging into what the big picture is.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Weekly Market Recap. I'm Cleopatra Murphy. Activity in the market went up in terms of trade volumes and number of trades. There was movement in 7 out of the 35 listed securities on the local exchange. A total of 210,893 shares were exchanged, up from last week's volume of 11,190. There were 44 trades on BISEX this week, up from the 11 trades in the previous week. Advancers Commonwealth Bank Limited traded 119,048 shares to increase 21 cents to a new price of $4.13 per share. Decliners Finco traded 7,032 shares to decrease 20 cents to a new price of $6.23 per share. Cable Bahamas traded 67,723 shares to decrease 6 cents or to a new price of $3.35 per share. Here is your Royal Fidelity investment tip for the week. Barter. It's a lost art, but lots of people will take your services or goods instead of money, especially if you're friends or at least know each other. Get into the habit of offering to barter, and you'll find yourself saving a lot of money. This has been your Royal Fidelity Market Recap. I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Every island and every key. Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC.
Understanding that reading is fundamental and wanting to do our part to assist our kids towards a common future, a team of BTC's iVolunteers left our corporate offices today to come here to the Sybil Straughn Primary School to read to students.
Scooby-Doo barked from the back of the mystery machine. I'm a part of BTC's iVolunteer team, and of course we do a lot of other stuff, but this one is just reading to the students, which I quite enjoy because kids don't understand, or people on the whole don't understand the importance of reading. So I was more than happy to assist with this exercise today.
It meant a lot because it showed that reading is important, and as you can see, I have an all-boys class, and my aim is to get them more involved and love reading. And so this was a great exercise that you guys did today.
I'm not surprised that they would even think of something like this, because it is our job, BTC's job, the company's job, to reach out and help wherever help is needed. And of course, reading, comprehension, literature, this is very important to making it in life, because you really and truly need to be able to read, certainly to be able to speak properly and to, perform on a job. So it's very important, and BTC took this initiative, and I'm very pleased that they did, and I'm really not surprised, because this is what we do. We help.
Thank you, BTC.
So story time has ended today, but the students have assured us that the reading will continue. And we'll see you next BTC Connection.
Every island and every key. Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day.
I love sunsets. Now that I'm retired, it's the simple things in life that are enjoyable. I couldn't say that a few years ago because I never thought of or planned for the inevitable, and I never considered the debt I would leave my family in.
BAF's final expense plan. Coverage up to $50,000 and it never decreases in value. Affordable monthly payments that never increase. Accidental death coverage and no medical exam or lab test required.
Now that I have BAF's final expense plan, I worry no more.
The concierge service is the best thing ever. Like, it is so fabulous, especially for someone like me where I cannot leave my office, my job to go do anything in the middle of the day because I'm on the radio. The service was so fabulous. The ladies gave me a call, they set up an appointment, they come with their professional looking attire, they're just so cute, and they come here and it was a great experience. It took 20 minutes to switch over to the Alive service. It was simple, it was easy, and they just made me feel so welcomed. They explained everything. They hooked me up with my new phone, they gave me my data package, as you can see, hey. And it was fabulous. It was a wonderful service, but what I really liked best about it was not only did they come here and make it easy for me, but they continued to check up on me. The next day, they made sure that everything was working properly with the phone. I didn't have any issues. The following week, they contacted me again, and I've built a relationship with them. They've continued to check up on me. I feel like I'm part of the Alive family. It's amazing.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more.
For nearly 30 years, the annual Bahamas Bridal Show has treated thousands to the most spectacular event of a lifetime. On Sunday, April 15th, the tradition continues when 45 wedding and home suppliers go on display and give away $30,000 in prizes, including 5 honeymoons. Also enjoy food and beverage sampling, wedding demonstrations, and fashion show. Get $45 tickets at Buttons Formal Wear and get ready for The Promise, 12 noon, Sunday, April 15th at Malia Nassau Beach Resort. Nobody puts on a show like the Bahamas Bridal Show.
If you own a portfolio of securities within a brokerage account, like stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, you can access a hassle-free loan, known as a margin loan, based on the value of that portfolio. Your investment portfolio is essentially used as collateral for a cash loan. And the benefits are numerous. Simple and straightforward application, quick turnaround, a more competitive interest rate, no requirement for monthly payments. Contact us for more information on margin loans.
A new winner emerging from the 11th Integrated Building Services Build a Bridge Challenge. Taking the top prize was the all-female team from the Anatole Rogers High School. Their winning bridge was able to hold 214 pounds. Last year's winner, St. Augustine's College, took the second prize, while Kingsway Academy took the third place. This challenge is one which IBS uses to develop an interest in engineering and applied sciences while teaching them discipline and determination. Students from 18 schools competed in the competition, building a bridge design they hoped would stand the rigorous tests. One member of the winning team will be provided a summer internship with IBS. More than 1,000 high school students participated in this year's program. Well, Keith Archer, a name synonymous with trade unions, retired at the ZNS labor consultant as a labor consultant at ZNS today. A former technician with the Bahamas Telecommunications Corporation, Archer was president of the Batelco Union, the Bahamas Communication and Public Officers Union, and the Trade Union Congress. He was also appointed a senator. Vaughn Albury reports on his role here at ZNS.
As president of the Bahamas Communication and Public Officers Union, Keith Archer was instrumental in the formation of the union here at ZNS. It was not easy, but along with others, the BCPOU was able to secure 3-year contracts benefiting ZNS employees. Charles Russell, a ZNS union leader, terms him the father of the union here at ZNS, fearless and respected when dealing with ZNS management.
He was still fearless, but yet we had respect for each other.
After his stint leading the BCPOU and the Trade Union Congress, which included a Senate seat, Keith Archer then became a labor consultant for the government, most notably ZNS. What was that like, changing sides? Acting Deputy General Manager of Human Resources, Sandra Knowles, said he brought all his negotiating skills to management after having led several unions.
He made sure the staff were treated fairly, firstly. Then he made sure that the union was on par with our benefits and our agreements. He made sure management were getting the benefit of the doubt. At the end of the day, Keith was just that person that he made sure everybody was treated equally.
ZNS Traffic Manager Sharon Albury lauds Archer for his many years of service to workers, especially those here at ZNS.
I hail Mr. Archer as a Bahamian hero in the field of trade union. I think he is one of the best, and he would always ever be remembered as a good and strong and courageous unionist.
Archer said unionism has changed, and today the focus is on individual performance.
In the old days, being a government department, we looked at basically the government, not necessarily that department. I would say today now that is, you got to take a second look at that now.
Because what the company can afford
on its own. You can't depend too much on the government and the treasury so much. But you know the government is trying to get away from that.
Well, stay tuned. There's more news to come. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
If you want to get a little spring in your step, then head to your favorite Super Value or Quality Supermarkets location for spring-worthy specials like Cardinal Cream Large Can, 89 cents. Chicken Leg Quarters 10-pound bag, 89 cents per pound. Rosoni Ready-Cut Macaroni 14.1-ounce box, 99 cents. First Choice Sugar 4-pound bag, $1.99. Jumbo Red Seedless Grapes, $2.99 per pound. Sunny Delight Smooth, tangy 64-ounce or Sips Drinks Assorted Flavors, 59-ounce size, 2 for $4.78. April is Buy Bahamian Month at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more.
Do you have a special love for Eleuthera, Harbor Island, or Spanish Wells? Participate in the one-day Eleuthera Business Outlook on Thursday, April 26th at Valentine's Residences, Resort and Marina, Harbor Island. You will be inspired by amazing speakers including Honorable T. Desmond Bannister, and experts from the Ministry of Finance will take you through a step-by-step tutorial on how to apply for your business license under the new Ease of Doing Business initiative. Register today. Call Jacqueline Gibson at the Ministry of Tourism, Eleuthera.
Look at all the food!
The Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources presents the 2018 Agribusiness Expo, April 13th through the 15th at the Gladstone Road Agricultural Complex. Come and enjoy fresh fruit, vegetables, livestock exhibits, arts and crafts, fun for the kids, and deals galore.
You think you can get it any better than that?
Expo 2018, April 13th through the 15th on Gladstone Road. See you there.
Move forward, Bahamas, and build high into the sky. Move upward and colorize those new walls. Move onward and build a garden to last a lifetime. Move together and settle into that new home. There's a lot of places you can do it for yourself, but there's one place to do it right. Builders Mall. We know exactly what motto you live by, and even the pros know building is just a part of what we do. So move forward, Bahamas. And remember, you can find it all at Builders Mall.
Well, it's time for your first check of weather. Basil, what does the weekend have in store?
Well, the weekend is looking pretty nice. It's going to be a little breeze in case you are planning on boating. Not the best weekend for that. And then there's a front system heading our way. We'll tell you all about that later in the newscast. But right now, we're going to take a look at temperatures around the Family Violence. And they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 79 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Toll Key, and Abaco. Marsh Harbor at 76 degrees in the Berry Islands, 78 also in Allenstown, Bimini here in the capital, 82 degrees, Harbor Island, Eleuthera, Roxanne, Eleuthera, 78, 79 in Stanley Key in the Exuma Chain, Kemp Space, St. Andrews, also Fresh Creek in Central Andrews reporting 79 degrees. San Salvador, Rum Key, Otterstown, Cat Island at 78, 80 degrees in Georgetown, Exuma. In San Salvador, Betsy Bay, Maguana, Crooked Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, Acklands, and Ragged Island, all at 80 degrees. Matthewtown and Nagua, 81 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 79 degrees. Your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Pink Center. In the northwest and central islands, the winds will be east to southeast around 12 to 18 knots. Wave fights are kind of moderate at 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. Low tide takes place at 18 minutes past midnight. For the southeast Bahamas, we have caution flags up, winds out of the southeast at 15 to 20 knots, and the wave fights choppy at 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. Tomorrow, which is Saturday, in the northwestern parts of our country, winds remaining 12 to 18 knots out of the southeast, wave heights unchanged at 3 to 6 feet. A high tide that will take place at 6:22 in the morning, with your low tide at 12:37 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands tomorrow, southeasterly flow 15 to 20 knots, so the caution flag stays in place. Wave heights continue choppy at 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. And on Sunday, for all areas, we're going to put caution flags up throughout the 700 islands with a southeast flow at 15 to 20 knots, and the wave fights 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your trial forecast, and your trial forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Gray, your boat needed bailing out. Get a sailorman sound. Raleigh Gray, your boat needed bailing out. Get a sailorman sound. If you wanna go to heaven, put the radar on your head, boy. That's a sailorman sound. If you wanna go to heaven, put the radar on your head.
Good for your trial forecast, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is coming up in about 20 minutes.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Weight loss is a health priority for many Bahamians. When we are overweight, we are at a much higher risk of diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, certain cancers, and even mood disorders like depression and anxiety. If you add 30 minutes of brisk walking to your daily routine, you could burn about 150 more calories a day. To lose a pound a week, you generally need to eliminate 500 calories a day. Of course, the more you walk and the quicker your pace, the more calories you'll burn. To reap the most health benefits from your exercise intensity must generally be at a moderate or vigorous level. For weight loss, the more intense your exercise or the longer you exercise, the more calories you burn. However, balance is important. Overdoing it can increase your risk of soreness, injury, and burnout. If you're new to regular exercise and physical activity, you may need to start out at a light intensity and gradually build up to a moderate, vigorous intensity. Eating fewer calories through dietary changes seems to promote weight loss more effectively than even physical activity. Combining 30 minutes of walking with sensible eating habits can make a difference. Commit to losing weight through healthy eating and exercise and improve your health starting today. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
Life happens, and when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. We help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance agents and brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today, or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Meet the Smith family. They're on vacation in the Caribbean. Since they aren't familiar with the islands and they want no hassle of renting a car, they downloaded Get Me Ride from their App Store, a transport service in the Caribbean to provide safe and reliable transportation. All they need to do is open the app, input their location, and set their destination. Next time you need a ride, let Get Me Ride be there for you.
Whether you want to get going in a new car, to relax at home while you pay bills on your mobile banking app, to get the best rewards with your credit card, or to get a sure start on your little one's future. Whether you want a quick response on your loan, or just a range of services that keep your business running smoothly, you want banking that fits your life. CIBC First Caribbean, banking that fits your life.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The Government Secondary School Soccer Championships kicking off yesterday at the Roscoe Davies pitch. Up first in junior girls play, the CH Reeves Raptors took home the title, being the Anton Rogers Timberwolves 1-0.
When it comes to playoff, it's a different ball game, so we continue to practice and they continue to execute everything they learn in practice, and it came fruitful for the day.
As for the junior boys, Anatol getting a bit of redemption. They also won the championship 1-0 over the SC McPherson Sharks.
It's been a tough game. It's both teams been to the championship. The girls didn't make it, but they play their hearts out, so I don't have any problem with that. That's what I required from them, and so I feel okay. But the boys came out and they responded in the right way. I knew it would have been a tough game, so hats off to them. It's a very good bunch. They are committed, and I love them. I love this team, assistant coach, everybody. We are just wonderful. It's a wonderful moment for us, wonderful moment for Anatol Rogers High School.
While the season is officially over for the juniors, the seniors still have some work to do as they go after a much bigger prize.
They're playing for a place in the National High School Championships, which will take place next week. We'll have teams from Grand Bahama coming over, from BAISS, and they'll start games on Tuesday, which again will be playoff. Thursday will be the semi-finals next week, and then on Saturday we'll have the finals of the National High School Championships over here. We did it 2 years ago. World Cup came into us last year, so it's a resurgence of that, and hopefully it'll start to engender some real spirit in the game of football throughout the whole of the Bahamas.
The Commonwealth Games winding down the Gold Coast of Australia. Earlier today, our men's 4x4 team of O.J. Ferguson, Alonzo Russell, Michael Matthew, and Ramon Miller finished fourth in their heat in 3:04.62. However, Australia, who finished in front of them, was disqualified, moving Team Bahamas up to third. Regardless of the finish, though, the time would have gotten them into the final tomorrow, where they once again run out of lane number 8. Public Works Minister, the Honourable Desmond Bannister, recently touring the Exuma mainland doing assessments. Among the items on his agenda, the regatta site in Georgetown.
The regatta site has some challenges with respect to drainage. I think I'm understanding that the shipping companies have caused some challenges with respect to erosion on the site. It wasn't drawn to my attention, but I'm also particularly concerned with respect to the depth of the water there, as to whether it is adequate for the boats that will come in there. But I think that the plans there for development of the site are certainly something that the government is going to have to find a way to support. Because, you know, if you ever come here in Georgetown when they have a regatta, you'll see that people come from throughout this country to participate in that festival here. There's some other concerns with respect to the condition of restrooms, the management of facilities, so that they are, a facility that's 3 years old ought not to look like this.
Carrie Cartwright in Alabama this week at the Legacy Prudential Union Women's Pro Tennis Classic. Teaming with Carrie Ann Pierre-Louis in quarterfinal round doubles action yesterday, the duo fell to the top-seeded team of Chile's Alexis Garage and Erin Ratliff from Australia 6-1 and 7-6. For Carrie's dad, Sean, who's also a former Davis Cup player for the Bahamas, he likes how his daughter is playing right now.
She's beat a girl in singles last year who had the highest ranking. Well, her highest ranking was up to down to 300, but she wasn't ranked 300 when Carrie beat her because she had an injury and just came off and was getting the ranking back up, but she was ranked at 300 at one time. Carrie's beating girls right now who are 400, the highest one was 488 in singles, so she's playing against the top ranked girls, but it's difficult for her to get in some tournaments because when you sign up for a tournament on the pro circuit, the draws are maybe 32 draw, so only the top 32 highest ranked individuals can get into the draw, and then you have a qualifying. So even for her to get her ranking now, she's been having to play qualifying draws, which are a draw of another 32. So she plays 3 to 4 matches and then goes into the main draw already burnt out and tired and having to play against the better, higher class players and have to get a few wins on 1 or 2 of them just to keep going to get the points. Because you don't get a point on them 15K tournaments until the second or third round, and you only pick up 1 point. It's taken taking right now about a year for her to get her rankings where it is right now, and it's not easy.
Sponsorship is key for sports both locally and internationally, but as Charles Fisher tells us, where some of that money comes from is not sitting well with one of the country's most respected coaches.
Gambling houses sponsoring sporting events is not in the country's national interests. That coming from former Bahamas Olympic swimmer national coach Andy Knowles, making it quite clear that sports and gambling don't mix.
I feel that athletics, swimming, sports is such a disciplined sport. I mean, swimming is a disciplined sport. You put a lot of time, a lot of work. I'm always telling kids to work hard in the water, be disciplined, show up on time, put in the work, do what you have to do to be the best you could. And then I feel a numbers house or what have you comes along and they say, okay, I'm going to sponsor an event to help it. To me, that's just mixed messages. I honestly think that it's sending 2 messages. We're trying to tell our athletes that they need to be committed. The preamble of our Constitution talks about discipline, hard work, industry, those things that you're putting things in to produce. And whereas the number houses, to me, is not doing that. Your numbers house is trying to tell people, okay, put money here and you might win, try to get lucky. Those two don't go together.
No stress that we should also be teaching a commitment to self-discipline and an abiding respect for Christian values and the rule of the law.
I was part of the referendum and worked closely with the churches. I still feel like that. I just saw some of the stuff in the press leading up to CRIFTA, and to me, I was just thinking, it just does not add up. I will give my views on it. I just feel there's so many other things that we could do to look at sponsoring sports that we don't need to go down that avenue.
And what are some of those?
There's a lot of things been thrown out in the past as far as budgets. I'm not going to get into that, but if you're looking at the budget, I remember my Uncle Dervit mentioning, a tax on gas, a certain amount adds up to a whole lot of money at the end of the year. You just have to decide what you want to do and put your priorities, and then you can make it happen.
For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
The Bahamas Bowling Federation taking a break from the lanes tomorrow. They'll hit the outdoors to put on a fundraiser.
We have a South-South. It's going to be right on the grounds of Mario's, and a fun run, walk, if you will. Very short distance from Mario's to Goodman's Bay and back. So we're really looking forward to this public support and raising funds in that regard because we really need it. Like I said, we have these several teams going off this year, and it takes money to move them forward and get them to where they need to go.
And that'll do it for sports. Stay tuned, checking weather still to come.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Look at all the food! The Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources presents the 2018 Agribusiness Expo, April 13th through the 15th at the Gladstone Road Agricultural Complex. Come and enjoy fresh fruit, vegetables, livestock exhibits, arts and crafts, fun for the kids, and deals galore.
You think you can get it any better than that?
Expo 2018, April 13th through the 15th on Gladstone Road. See you there.
You thought it was the talk of the town, but get ready for more.
More energy, more excitement, exhilarating, compelling, informative, educational talk on The Conversation.
I'm Shanique Miller. Pull up a chair with a cup of tea and join me weekdays at 4 on Radio Bahamas, 1540 AM, 104.5 FM, and The Light, 810 AM for The Conversation. I'm excited to have you around the table.
Welcome, madam, to the Royal Blue Tavern. My name is Leslie, and I will be taking exceptional care of you. Service has been a part of my life for a very long time. I get a sense of satisfaction knowing that my guests came, experienced Bahamian cuisine, fine service, just the shared joy that they get from my service is enough satisfaction for me.
ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Watch our live channel to keep up with what's going on in the nation. News updates, we've got you covered. Tune into our radio stations with just a swipe. On the road, on the go, we're here with you. Available for download on the App Store and the Google Play Store.
Join us this coming Sunday, April 15th at 8 p.m. for rebroadcast of the program Teresa Moxie Ingram, Her Life, Her Legacy. That's a special presentation on Teresa Moxie Ingram, Her Life, Her Legacy, this coming Sunday at 8 p.m. right here on the ZNS Television Network. Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, the area of high pressure across the Bahamas will continue to produce moderate to fresh breezes throughout the weekend, with caution flags being in place for the southeast Bahamas, and that will continue right into Sunday when the entire chain will be placed under a caution flag for boaters. So we're asking you to exercise caution over the weekend if you have to be on the waters. Tonight, the forecast calls for partly cloudy conditions with 1 or 2 sporty showers, particularly later on tonight. The clouds will be increasing as well. Low temperature getting down to 74 degrees. And tomorrow we're looking at, again, 1 or 2 sprinkles here and there under partly sunny and breezy conditions. High temperature 88 degrees, which is about 5 degrees above normal for this time of the year. And your extended weather forecast getting you to near 90 on Sunday ahead of that frontal system. Monday, frontal system goes through, temperatures drop just a couple degrees, and we'll see the upper 60s once again for nighttime temperatures. And for the rest of next week, it seems as though it's going to be pretty nice, save for 1 or 2 more showers working its way into the forecast later on in the later part of next week.
It's getting up there, those temperatures, and it's only April.
It's only April, and usually we average about 82 degrees for this time of the year, and you see we have temperatures 88 degrees, 89 degrees, so it's well above our normal for this time of the year.
Brace yourself, right? Thanks, Basil. That does it for us in the Bahamas Tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, thanks so much for looking in. Have a good night and a great weekend.
on TV. Look, I on TV. Mom, guess what it is? That's me. Bartend, do you see me? I on television. I gotta tell my girlfriend I on television.
Hello?
Babe, turn your television to ZNS.
Quick, are you on television? I don't have a TV in here. We have Wi-Fi though. We have Wi-Fi.
That's fine. They upgrade now. You can watch it live from your phone.
You just have to download the app. All right, hold on.
Go to the App Store, type in ZNS.